I want to talk about my own personal experiences. Like, I mean, I can go with very basics things that I didn't know about, and I like learned about the last 2 3 years. I mean, I've got better than before. Like, I think I had a lot of debts like 3 years
Mhm.
ago. I had a lot of debt that I had accumulated. That I one of the things is like with the like I had this attitude with both credit cards and other like personal loan debts that when it's in future, 3 years time,
Mhm.
as if it's never
Yeah,
coming, but it's
yeah.
coming, and it's especially if there's like I don't know, some good interest rate, and like you think like in 10 months the interest rate is
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
kick in, and you're like, no, I'll sort it out in 10 months, but in 10 months you've
Mm.
actually maxed out your card.
Right? And
What the
then
only thing
that
you've done,
interest
yeah.
rate, that they get you in there, Ashcon. They're like, yeah, 12 months interest free. And then you spend like the entire 10K limit, and then on the
Mm.
12th month, you get hit with that minimum payment. And then forever,
No,
it's like, oh, paying it back takes
no,
forever.
it does really take forever if you pay the minimum payment.
Mm.
So one of the things that, yeah, I would say, like suggest to people is, even if you have like some people don't even know that you can, transfer your balance to 0% credit card. If it has kicked in, you can just transfer it to, I don't know, but I think Barclays have a good deal still, like 28
Mm.
months. So like that's what I did. Like I had around 10,000 I think credit card debt. I just moved it to Barclays 0% balance transfer, and from there I started paying it off because at that point the amount of interest I was paying was like £300,
Yeah,
£200 or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that
yeah.
per
Yeah.
month, and that's quite a lot. Like that's
It's a lot of
so,
money.
but yeah.
And
So
most
I
people have
moved,
more than one credit card. So that adds
yeah,
up.
and as your credit what was score gets better, you get better deals again. Like if you have personal loan, you can just like if you've got it for I don't know 15% interest rate, you can also change that to a new loan. Like it might be 9%, 8%, and that all little helps if you're actually trying to lose your debt. And also you usually correct me if I'm wrong, it's better to free up your debt than to start investing rather than invest
100%.
the money that you don't have because
100%. You know,
mm,
most debt is unproductive, right? But
mm,
if you were to take a loan out to start a business, that's productive debt.
mm,
I mean, permitting the business actually makes money, right? It's
mm,
productive in that way. But most people don't take out debt to invest and make more money. Most people are taking on debt to like fund immediate gratification, immediate
mm,
purchases. And in a bad situation, they're actually doing it to meet their day-to-day expenditure because they can't afford to
mm,
do it on their basic salary. The math of minimum payments on credit cards is astonishing. Like if you are in £10,000 debt, right? What the bank does, the bank calculates the interest and then it does a tiny proportion of the principal that you actually owe. So you end up paying that minimum payment if you choose to forever into perpetuity. If you owe £10,000 at 20% interest rate and you pay only the minimum, it takes 28 years for you to pay that debt off. It's incredible, like the way that banks are able to do this. And I was actually reading about this recently, how the math of credit cards companies. So most banks they make money on the loans, right? So you give deposits and they loan out money, and the spread between the rate that they pay deposits at and the rate that they charge loans at is like 2 to 3%. That's the difference that they make. But when you ramp it up to credit cards, they're charging you like 29%. 35%. That's where the real money is. And there's two categories of people on credit cards. And I think it's good for people listening to know like which one they are. Credit card companies call them the revolvers and they call them the transactors. The transactors are the people who spend every single month, but they pay the entire bill off at the end of the month. That makes up about 20% of the population of credit cards. The other 80% are the revolvers, the ones who spend but only pay the minimum payment every single month, right? And
mm,
that's where you get into real trouble, into real difficulty. But you gave a great solution in terms of
mm.
transferring those balances to 0% interest rate. You know how many people don't even realize they can do that? But the problem with that,
I didn't know for
yeah,
a long time. I didn't know myself.
it's a brilliant hack. It's a
Mm.
great hack to streamline your expenditures and to streamline your interest rate, overall interest rate profile, right? To lower it down. But you need to have a good credit rating for that. And most people who live on their credit cards don't really always have a great credit rating.